Sounds okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome council members and any audience members that might be out there. Doesn't look like there's anybody at the moment. This is our July 1st, 2021 Gualala Municipal Advisory Council meeting. We have a meeting on the first Thursday of every month. So we are one person down, and that would be our administrative secretary this evening. She had a little mishap. So I don't see anybody from law enforcement here yet, but introductions, we usually introduce ourselves. Go down the screen. I'm Robert Youngling, I'm the chairman. Tom Murphy, the vice chairman. Don Hess, our council member, and Melissa Finley on the phone is our other council member. And we're hoping for more. So any announcements?
Yes, I want to wish happy birthday to Melissa Finley, our council member, who is here on her birthday to celebrate with us.
Okay. Happy birthday, Melissa. Should we sing you a happy birthday?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Ready, you guys? Happy birthday
to
you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Melissa. Happy birthday to you. All right.
Bravo.
And many more.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we have Mr. Aaron Finnegan with us now. All right. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. We're down to number 2, consent agenda. We have the approval of the meeting minutes of June 3rd.
I would like to make a change in the minutes.
Okay. Whereabouts?
In section 6, paragraph on the bottom of the second page, it says Murphy asked where the water tank would be located and recommended considering building a multi-unit dwelling. I'd like to change those words to asked if they had considered building a multi-unit dwelling. I did not make a recommendation to them.
And asked if they had considered. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a slight edit.
That's it. I have no other changes.
Okay. I don't think I'll underline some things, but I don't think they're worthy of any edits or anything. So can we have a motion to approve the June 3rd meeting, GMAC meeting minutes as amended?
I move to approve the June 3rd meeting minutes as amended.
Okay, do we have a second? Melissa, Don, Robert.
I'll second that.
Okay, Don seconds that. And then we'll do a vote. Tom?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Don?
Aye.
And Robert? I'm an aye. So that's unanimous on approving those amended meeting minutes from June 3rd. So correspondence, 2B. Update on the coastal development permit in near Gualala area. See below. So that must be referring. What is that referring to?
I have a point of order.
Okay.
I have a change in the minutes, or a change in the agenda tonight, but that's our third point of business. And I have, it includes the correspondence section. So may we move to the agenda item first, and then I'll show you the changes?
Sure. Okay. Let's jump down to C, approval of the agenda.
Don, may I share?
Yeah, go ahead. You should still have a right to share. I don't think I have to give you any permission.
Okay. So this is, we learned of 2 new CDPs after the agenda was posted on Sunday or Monday. So I wanted to point those out, and they affect item 2B, which is correspondence. We received notification of 2 new CDPs, which are noted below in the agenda. And I've moved those to item 7A and B, those two new CDPs, so that they can be assigned at the end of the meeting. And those are the only changes I made in the agenda tonight.
Okay. So we'll have covered 2B then, because that'll be 7A and 7B. Okay.
Right.
So,
if everybody's good with that, I will move to approve the agenda as amended.
okay, I'll second that. Melissa,
Aye.
Don,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
and Robert. Aye. So we've taken care of both 2B and 2C, and we have a 7A and a 7B. Okay. So we move on to public input. Anybody, let me see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 council members. There's Sergeant Finnegan. Any public input on non-agenda items from any of us? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move right down the agenda to, I guess, Aaron, and anything he might have for us from the law enforcement perspective.
Yeah,
See.
nothing earth-shattering to share, just obviously busy weekend coming up on us. We have a maximum enforcement period scheduled for tomorrow through Monday. And so hopefully you'll see people out and about in black and white vehicles helping keep the roadways safe. Don't hesitate to keep calling in traffic complaints. We've heard some members of the community, and so thank you for that. And you know, we're spread thin. Low staffing abounds amongst the different law enforcement agencies in the county. So we are spread thin, but we do want to hear from the public if there's a need for service. We've heard from some of the northern communities in the region, and so we'll be patrolling some up north, but we'll also be heading south as well. And then just wanted to share briefly, I don't know if you guys have heard back from Lieutenant Comer or the sheriff, but I do know that they have an active operation going looking for a shooting suspect. And so I know they're out and about doing the Lord's work, looking for that suspect. So just wanted to share that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe why they're absent. And that's about it. Just want to field any questions. Appreciate you guys inviting me again, and glad I was able to make it. Sorry for being tardy.
Yeah, I have a question, Sergeant Finnegan.
Yes, sir.
Do you anticipate any issues over this weekend with illegal fireworks? I guess I bring that up because obviously we're in a forested area. Things are dry and getting drier. So it could be a serious issue, potentially. I don't know.
So I've had members of the communities along the coast, you know, all 90 miles of it that we cover for the highway patrol. Different communities have expressed the concern for that, that risk of fireworks. I spoke with CAL FIRE law enforcement today, did a review of the California Code of Regulations and the different sections that apply to illegal fireworks. Certain types of fireworks are illegal statewide. All fireworks are illegal in Mendocino County. And then there's some, I want to call it fine print, not really a gray area, but there is state property within the county of Mendocino. And so state law is the regulatory codes that affect state property, not county law. And so there's different state laws that and my patrol officers are concerned with enforcing. And so, yeah, we want to keep people safe and limit any fire danger, obviously. And so we'll be out in full force. Like I mentioned, we designate this holiday period as a maximum enforcement period. So we'll be out, and that is definitely one of the things that I'm glad that you asked. I actually communicated to all of my patrol officers earlier today, gave them an information sheet with appropriate codes for illegal fireworks. Again, some are legal on state property. None are legal, generally speaking, throughout the county if you're not on state property. And then obviously we're all aware, I'm sure, of the fire over in Shasta. And so some of our fire personnel are spread a little bit thin right now as well.
Thank you, Sergeant Finnegan.
Any other
If the
questions?
community, if you guys know people in the community, if there's an issue or a particular area or problem, then yeah, please do communicate it to the appropriate authorities.
Okay. This is probably considered to be minor, but a couple of vehicles have been on our roadway, on the sides of our roadway now for months, it seems like. One of them at the south end of town. There's that wrecked vehicle, and then there's another one at the intersection there of, I think it's Fish Rock Road and Highway 1, but that's a Caltrans issue probably, right, Mr. Aaron?
Possibly. So I mean, if it's in the roadway, like right of way, I mean, you're mentioning Caltrans probably because they may be the
Property owner there. Yeah.
Yeah, they may be in charge of maintenance within that right of way, but no, if there's a vehicle that's left there, say after an accident for a long period of time, I mean, the county does have an abandoned vehicle abatement program that seems like there's some red tape associated with that program and getting them to respond. But I mean, we can tow and store vehicles. Say a person's in an accident and they're transported to the hospital, so they're no longer there to decide what to do with the vehicle. Then the Highway Patrol and law enforcement in general has the authority to store that vehicle for them, generally for safekeeping. But then also, if it's just on the side of the road and is distracting other drivers and stuff like that, that is considered a visual hazard, and so we can remove it as a hazard as well.
Yeah. Everybody
Yeah.
else,
So
yeah.
specifically, so on one at the south end there, like in the big pullout.
Yeah, it's an eyesore now for so long.
Okay, and then the one in Fish Rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass that on to my patrolman.
Okay. Thanks. Anybody else have anything? No? Okay. Well, feel free to stay on with us, Aaron.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna jump off if
Okay.
people don't have any other questions. I'm gonna keep gearing up for
Okay.
this weekend.
Okay.
Have a good, safe weekend,
Happy
Sergeant.
4th of July week. Yeah.
Thank
you. Take care.
You too.
Thanks for
Happy
going
Tuesday.
up. Okay, Aaron. Okay, council members, we'll go on to number 5, permit applications. We have this timber harvest plan, 1-21-00075-Mendocino, the Conservation Fund within Signal Creek and east of Eureka Hill watersheds. Now, Mary put in Finley update. What's this about, Melissa?
I haven't a clue.
The Conservation Fund. Has anybody looked this up? Or have we had a chance to, anyone?
I don't have a clue what it's about. I don't know why my name's in there.
Okay, within Signal Creek and east of Eureka Hill watersheds. It's kind of out of our jurisdictional area. It was put down for a reason though, this timber harvest plan. I don't know if it affects, I don't believe in that area it affects the Gualala River. It might the,
I don't know.
yeah. Tom, you know anything about this? Don?
I do not know about it. As I recall, we discussed it briefly at the last meeting. I'm looking at the minutes now. And it was, Melissa said that she would look into it.
Okay, that's probably why her name is there. It's also referred to down in number 6, Council Matter 6G. Permit reviews, assignments. And I'm really at a loss why this got put on the agenda.
It is not on the amended agenda.
Oh, it's not, so I'm working off an old agenda. Okay,
Yes.
I saw it under 6G for some reason. I pulled that wrong agenda. Okay, Well, let's table it, or let's, if we have a chance between now and August, we'll look into it, or we'll ask Mary about it. And I think that's all we need to do for tonight on that. Okay, you agree, everyone?
Yeah, but Robert, just for clarification, isn't this indeed in the Gualala River watershed, specifically the Little North Fork?
Well, east of Eureka Hill would be,
Or would it be,
would be north of Iverson and 10 Mile Cutoff. It would be out of our jurisdiction up that way, Don.
I
Because
did-
Iverson Road, yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
okay, well, maybe it is out of our jurisdiction. You're probably right about that, Robert. I'm just curious whether in fact it still is, though, within the watershed of the Gualala River, including all its tributaries.
Well, you know where Fish Rock Road heads down to the dump, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Fish Rock Road goes to the west off of Old Stage Road. In that corner there where Fish Rock Road heads down to the dump, that's kind of where, on the inside of Old Stage Road and Fish Rock Road is where the Little North Fork kind of starts, right there.
Oh, okay, I see.
And works its way
Okay.
down towards the North Fork and down towards the Green Bridge.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's south of that intersection with Old Stage Road and Fish Rock Road that goes down to the dump. So, Eureka Hill Road is much further up. If
Yeah.
that's what Mary was referring to here, Eureka Hill Road, Signal Creek. Signal Creek is a road that's south of Iverson. Now, that doesn't make sense if that's where that would be, Signal Creek Road. We're going to have to ask Mary where she got this information.
It came from the application. And I'm looking at item 8G from the minutes. And it says permit reviews assignments, refers to this one. Within Signal Creek and east of Eureka Hill watersheds. I think that came from the THP application. And it says Finley felt that if the Friends of the Gualala River are interested, then GMAC should also be interested. If not, then leave it. She will contact Fogger and members will review the THP.
Okay, and my name is actually assigned on that too. I've just seen under the minutes. Melissa, I vaguely remember this from last month's meeting that you said that.
I don't remember. I must have already fallen asleep.
Okay. Well, I agree what you say there, Melissa, and we should try to see what we can find out about it in this next month's time, just so we follow up on it.
You know,
And
Yeah.
you know, it appears that this is probably within the Garcia River watershed.
yeah, if the conservation fund is the owner, I'm thinking it's up that way. They have a lot of land up there, if I'm not mistaken. I'll help research it from a property ownership perspective, Melissa, and then maybe we can see if we need to contact Fogger or if it's out of our jurisdiction or what we're going to do about it. But we can follow up on it a little bit just to see what we missed here.
But yeah, anything that affects our water is in our jurisdiction. Just because it's not inside a line doesn't mean we shouldn't give. If it affects our water, we need to tell them.
Yeah, and that would be the Little North Fork at that intersection of Fish Rock Road and Old Stage Road south is what I'm thinking. But we need a little more information on this, and I'll look into who the conservation fund is. And it was a THP, and Mary usually looks at those. So when Mary gets back, we'll check in with her too. Okay, anything else on that one?
Nope.
I'm just looking at the document for timber harvest plans. If you just give me another second, I can probably find this.
It's hard to find, Tom.
It's 210075.
00075.
Unfortunately, they don't do this sequentially.
It takes a while to find it, Tom, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just I'm close.
Okay. Yeah, Mary will have a tendency sometimes to, if it looks like it's close to the Gualala River, to just to mention it or to put it up.
Here it is.
Okay.
00075 Mendocino filed 6/15/21 or 6/24/21. Tentative end of public comments is August 5th. It is 455 acres east of Eureka Hill and Signal Creek. They have latitude and longitude here as well.
East of Eureka Hill Road,
And
right? Okay.
landowners, the Conservation Fund. So the information on the agenda is correct as it was last month. And I think the conversation you just had with Melissa is about the same conversation we had last month, that you and Melissa would look into it. And that's why your names are on the minutes.
But being that it's east of Eureka Hill Road, you guys, it's pretty far out of our jurisdictional area, not to mention out of the Gualala River watershed.
I don't know.
I do know.
Yeah, I just looked at a map. This is Garcia River watershed, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, you guys.
Absolutely.
I
It's
mean,
Garcia River. So I don't really think it's within our bailiwick, quite frankly, even if we may have some concerns. It's not the Gualala River. It just is not.
we can't be chasing down all this stuff, really.
No, we can't.
So,
Just protect our water.
Yeah.
Please. That's all we need to do is protect our drinking water.
at least we can try to do that, yeah. So, okay, we can move beyond this, can't we?
Yep.
Just for point of information, from the map I'm looking at, Fish Rock Road divides the Gualala River watershed from the Garcia River watershed. That
Correct.
basically is the dividing line.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So under 5, we have a CDP 5B 2019. It's an update only. And it looks like the coastal administrator has scheduled this for a mitigated negative declaration. And that was in June of 2021. So reviewed by GMAC back in 2020. I didn't have a chance to look what we reviewed back in 2020, but I think this has gone to the next levels after our review, and I'm not sure what we want to do about this. I guess it's just an update only that it has gone to the coastal administrator. Is that how you
It
guys?
appears so to me. I don't see a need for action or review on this.
Okay, it's just an update only. Mary, thank you. Okay, moving right along. We should get to 6A, old business. Do you want to say anything on that, Tom, seeking new GMAC members?
Yeah, just that we have been seeking new GMAC members. We notified the council members. We put notices on Facebook, on 3 different sites. We've talked to people in the community. This is all at the behest of Ted Williams, who is interested in filling those seats. And we have been in touch with the county clerk's office to notify them that their records were wrong, in that they only had 1 vacancy listed all this time, and that was for Mr. Chasey because his term expired. We had notified the county clerks. I'd been in touch with them several times, and even though they never mentioned it at the time, now they're saying, oh, well, that was the wrong part of the county clerk's office. But they did ask, we got a formal notice asking us to make sure that our official channels notify the clerk's office if there's a vacancy so that they can have their records correct. But everybody, I believe, now knows that we have 4 vacancies, and I understand that there are several applicants. I don't know how many, because we don't have vision into that. But that's the latest on it. It is in the works, and sometimes it takes 4 or 5 pushes to get these things done. So let's see if they can get this done soon.
One application was apparently filed with Ted Williams recently, and that was through Mary Mulbert. spreading the word that there's vacancies. And so this gentleman this applicant asked me if there was indeed vacancies, and I said, yes, please submit it to the county and to Ted Williams. So, and then at the same time, we found out, Tom, that there's like 4 or 5 or 6 applications.
Well, that may be out of date now. We don't know how many applicants there are. As always, I'm encouraging folks to apply, and I would like to see some greater diversity on the council rather than to better reflect our community.
Right. So we'll continue to work on that, but there is some new interest, it seems like, that's getting generated because we're getting through to our supervisor, I feel like, or Tom did. Okay, so on the GCAP committee, 6B, not a whole lot to report. We didn't officially get together this past month, the GCAP committee, but I did put in a call to Caltrans just to see if I could get an update from them. And sure enough, I got a call back from the project manager, Frank Demling, and he told me a little bit about where Caltrans is at the moment. I was going to follow up with a letter to him, and just a lot of personal stuff was happening with me, so I didn't get to follow up with a letter, but not yet anyway. Maybe I still will here after our meeting today, but what he basically told me was that they don't have enough staff members at the present time to continue to work on the design of the project, even though we have our design pretty much in place. We've rehashed it so many times over and over now. I guess he's just trying to get together the last couple of comments from our last GMAC meeting and maybe some other public comments that might have happened. But basically, you know, if he's going to do any more work, he'd probably go or try to go to MCOG and ask for some more money. And I don't know how we all feel about that, but we feel, I feel anyway, and then maybe Tom on GCAP feels the same way, that we've spent enough money on this. We've been, and time, 25 plus years on this project. And I think it was in the words of one of the supervisors we talked to recently that, you know, let's get it built. We to the point now where it's enough stalling, enough time spent on this. We know basically what we need, and we need a way to take care of the congestion in the downtown core of town, and to remove Highway 1 parking in this area from Ocean Drive to Center Street. If we have some parking, it would be just some interim parking to take care of some developer issues that may still be needed. But otherwise, we really have studied this issue to death. And I even made the point to connect with one of the past GMAC members that was the chair for a long time and was very instrumental in helping formulate the town plan. And he mentioned to me on the side that way back when, prior to my getting on GMAC Council in 2003, that they were very close to getting somewhere with a streetscape plan. But at that time, the monies from MCOG were going elsewhere, and I think you might all know where they were going. They were going to the Willits bypass at that time. Otherwise, long ago, we may have had some money and some impetus going towards this Gualala streetscape plan. So anyway, here we are, trying to push this along, and it's a tough time of the year. Here we are starting the second half of the year, and we just, Tom is really been a great impetus on this, and we're really pushing on the GCAP Council to the different agencies to come up with a final plan now, and MCOG is asking for the same thing. Caltrans, we want you to bring us something that we can take action on. So that's my input. We'll probably get together shortly after this meeting. I would hope, Tom, maybe another week or so, and have our GCAP committee meeting and then do a couple more things along these lines. But please chime in if you have anything else to add, Tom.
No, I think you summed it up well, Robert. I don't have anything to add tonight.
Okay, so
Now, Robert, it's interesting that you mentioned Willits
yeah,
and their bypass, because apparently as part of that bypass, they got a streetscape, you know,
Yeah.
somewhat similar to what we're looking for.
yeah.
And,
It seems
and,
like
it looks nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it does.
I've been and looked at it before too, and it's an interesting streetscape. Yeah,
That's different. It's different than what, you know, we would like here somewhat, but
right.
you know, basically has an area where there's 2 lanes for vehicle traffic, bike lanes, sidewalks, you know, the normal stuff that you'd like to see.
Yeah, and that was as a result of them removing 101 going through their town, right?
Mhm.
And filled out.
So
Yeah.
maybe we should ask for a bypass here, then we'll get our streetscape.
35 years in the making on that Willits bypass, apparently. So
Oh, was it?
yeah, well, that would be way too big of a project for us here.
Well, we're up to 26 years, and we've planned our project very carefully. The community has weighed in several times on this. They've confirmed the view. Caltrans even conducted their own survey and confirmed what we told them 2 years ago. So it's good to go. You're right, Robert, and it's time for them to move on.
Yeah, we've got a good project. But how many times have we reiterated? We've got enough parking off site. We don't need parking on the highway. It's a enhancement project is what we're calling it nowadays, is what Caltrans came up with. It's not we keep calling it the Streetscape project, but it's really a safety and enhancement project for Gualala, and it's due time that we do this. So any other comments? Melissa? Dawn,
I said it
Tom.
before and I'll say it again, and I'm not joking. Stop gassing and build the damn road.
Okay, I just wanted to hear it again, okay? Okay,
You're welcome.
all righty. Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, move on to 6C, Housing and Economic Development Committee. Tom,
No report tonight.
okay. Anything new on the electric vehicle charging station front? Don?
No, there isn't. You know, as I think you are aware of, I've been extremely busy the last, I'd say I'm still in Oakland right now.
Okay,
But I think this wrap up within the next week or two, and that'll be done.
I'll talk to you about it afterwards.
But I've got a couple ideas that I'm kicking around in my head, and maybe I'll have something to report next month.
Okay. That's probably the same as under F, where I'm involved with you on also the Water Ad Hoc Committee. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but Telecommunications Committee, you and Tom, Don, anything there?
Yeah, I will.
You. Go ahead, Tom.
I will just report that we had 135 views of our meeting on June 3rd, which may be a 1 meeting high for us. I have not reviewed where they were, but if you give me a second here, I'll tell you what parts were the most interesting. The number surprises me because a lot of that viewing came in the last couple of weeks. Well, I'm looking at it now, and it appears that looks like about the middle of the meeting, there was a big surge in interest. That would be about the time of the Streetscape discussion. I'm guessing that's what it was last month.
Or Tom, or the 3 CDPs that we had.
There is some interest throughout the meeting, but the peaks came between 127 and 140 into the meeting.
Okay. And again, that would be Streetscape, huh? When
I can tell you in a second. Let me just take a look at the definition.
because we had a lot of visitors last time on the screen, and today it's just us 4. And
Yeah, I don't have a time breakdown for the last meeting, so I didn't put in the time stops, but I believe that would be about that time. I can zoom to it just now, and what did I say, 135? Let me just get here.
Viewers, you said, yeah.
Have to wait for the skip ads. I see at 1:35. Oh, let's see. You might be right here, Robert. It looks like the trees were the big issue.
The trees on the CDP on the Old Coast Highway.
Yeah, the big yellow house. That's that whole discussion. That's where the peak viewing was.
Oh, yeah, up on Iverson Drive.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that was the big view last month.
I'll be darned. 135 people were watching that, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people tuned in for that part of this meeting. So the CDPs were the dominant thing last month, and they were. That was the biggest thing we talked about last month.
Yeah, it took up a lot of time. I know that. We had 3 of them, and we were pretty thorough about all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. Oh, there's
anything else?
Sheriff is here.
Is he?
Yeah, I just checked in.
Hi.
I knew he might be late. He's coming in. He's still not on sound.
Okay.
Welcome, Sheriff.
Hello, Sheriff. Matt? We'll wait till he gets on, and then we'll give him the floor. How's that?
Okay. It's your call.
Yeah. They got limited time schedules. We got to acquiesce to them, I think. Hello, Matt. Are you there by chance?
He's on mute.
Okay. Still on mute.
Maybe you just want to move on for now. Oh, he dropped off again.
Okay. He just wanted to make an appearance.
I guess he did. Yeah. I'm going back on
He
mute
did.
myself.
Good to see you. Good to
So
see you, Matt. Okay.
I think you're up to 6F, Robert.
Yeah. Okay. I was getting ahead of myself, but I was thinking that on our water ad hoc committee, we didn't meet again this past month, Don, and so it's like with 6D in a way. We will try to get some more time and devote it to that this coming month. What do you think?
Absolutely. I'm going to, as I say, after the middle of the month,
Okay.
at the latest, I should have some more time. So maybe we could schedule something for August, and this would be hopefully prior to the school year beginning for Professor Helen, the woman who teaches at UC Davis, the expert in hydrology. So hopefully she can participate, and then get the other participants that we need also on board. And my idea about this whole water forum is really long term. Looking at what are we going to do long term here. It's not so much just right now.
Right.
Right now, the only thing we can do right now is conservation. What else? We can't find any more water.
Right.
We can conserve better, encourage conservation, those kind of things. But, short term, we're not coming up with more water. But long term, what are we going to do? I think that's the real issue that we need to face and explore in this water forum. I don't know. What do you think?
I totally agree. I just did a real quick look at the gauge on the North Fork, and we're historically low. It looks like 2.37 is the cubic feet per second bypass at the moment, and that's July 1st. And then we got a long ways to go. July, August, September, even into all of October. There's relatively little flow, and what is needed out there? I mean, this is a huge topic, and it is the big picture. I agree totally, Don, and we've got to come up with a thorough way to handle this. We've got a couple of really good speakers in mind now, and so it's just a matter of putting this together. I wish we'd have a little bit more. Well, I haven't been on their website either lately, North Gualala Water Company, but I wish we had a little more input from them on the water situation. Melissa, you said something, was it the last meeting that you were gonna talk to the ICO or something and see if they'd run an article on the water drought situation? Didn't you mention something? I thought I saw that in the meeting minutes from last month.
I mentioned it the time before last, and I haven't done it, and I'm probably not.
You're not gonna do that? You wouldn't wanna look into that a little bit and maybe get them to write something or bring their attention to it at least with a phone call?
They're aware of it. I've seen mention in it, and if they wanted to run one, they would run one.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
I don't know if anybody else is aware of it, but there's also been an algae warning issued for local rivers, including the Gualala River. And I believe that means that has cyanobacteria was found at each of the sites with low levels of toxins. Officials are warning the public to avoid algae and scum in the water and on the shore. Don't drink the water, use it for cooking, and get medical treatment immediately if any person, pet or livestock, becomes sick after going in the water.
wow.
Not exactly the image we want to present to the public during the summer. So I know the local folks are staying out of the river this year, and being a local folk, I'm not going near it either.
Yeah.
That's not our drinking water. That's not the drinking water, Melissa. That's from underground. This is on the surface. If you go and look at the river from the bridge, you'll see the algae.
I thought some of our water came from surface water.
No.
No, that comes from a deep well back on the North Fork. Is our sheriff back, or is he?
I am back. I am back. I'm sorry. I had a terrible cell connection. I just made it to Anderson Valley. I'm parked next to my father's great-grandfather's headstone right now.
Oh, be darned. We better give you the floor, Matt. We saw you make a short appearance earlier. We thought that was going to be
And then I lost cell service. Then.
Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, Anderson Valley, well, Boonville was once called Kendall City, believe it or not. And I'm parked next to the fellow who founded it right now. He's been holding his spot firmly for about 150 years. So.
Jeez, that sounds special. How appropriate. We better give you the floor as long as you want it.
Okay. So just real quick, for a real quick breakdown in Gualala, I won't go through all of the calls, but, you know, kind of the larger ones are, we had one burglary case. That case was solved, and we feel pretty good about that. We had 2 domestics, 3 disturbances. We had 3 mentally ill cases. And, you know, that's quite a big set of calls for the Gualala area. So I want to get into that just a little bit when we get a little further into it. We handled 6 investigations, 9 security checks, basically 27 traffic stops for self-initiated activities, things like that. And then right now we're doing, let me turn on my camera so you don't have to look at my face there. Right now we're doing really well once again on the burglaries and whatnot, and that shows that we are working well with the community, because 99% of the information that we get on these actually comes from the community. A very small amount of it comes from physical evidence. If we take a fingerprint on a burglary, burglaries are so low on the totem pole of what Department of Justice is testing right now, or comparing burglaries. DNA is really hard to get tested because we have so many homicides and violent crimes that they always take priority. And so when we're solving burglary cases and dealing with those things right off the get-go, is because the citizens are paying attention. They're doing a good job. And I just wanted to let everybody know that as this summer starts rolling and we have more people coming in, and let's face it, the coast is going to have a lot of people this year. And, you know, the pandemic's had everybody locked down. Everything's opening up. We are going to see some issues. And so I wanted to reach out on the MAC meeting to make sure that everybody, please just keep doing what you're doing. It's working well. Pay attention to who's in the neighborhoods. Pay attention to what's going on around us. If you see someone doing something that they don't look like they should be doing, let us know. It's no skin off our backs. the camera systems that have gone up all over our nation, people are preemptively giving us photographs, and we're identifying people long before they've committed a crime. They're casing a place. You know, you guys did a really good job for us on that one, and it helped a lot. We've got to kind of stick with that. Now, we've got some big concerns because I've got a lot of guys, you probably read our press release, we're out looking for that subject who shot at my deputy down by Elk. And so I'm going to bed every night praying that we have a good, peaceful resolution to this. And I hope that everybody will do the same for us. We don't want any trouble. We want that fellow to wind up facing his crimes, but we've tied him to about a dozen burglaries so far. And then, of course, he shot at the deputy. Just a couple of things with the water situation. I just left Covelo in the Eel River. I mean, I grew up there. The Eel River is as dry as I have ever seen it in my life, and we are just now hitting July. I can't even imagine what it's going to look like on October 15th. So let's all do our part. Look out for your neighbors. Let's try not to use any more water than what we have to. Big concerns this year for fire danger, and we have the 4th of July coming up. So it's going to be very important that everybody exercises responsibilities. We love freedom, and that's what America's about, but you only get absolute freedom by exercising absolute responsibility. And, you know, I hate to say it, but the police, we're here for the ones who don't. If they can't exercise responsibility, then we've got to work with them until such point that they do. Now, do you folks have any, I wanted to get a little more into the mobile response unit. The young lady that we hired up along with behavioral health, we're going to be hiring a total of 3. We've hired 1 so far. She was partnered up with a deputy sheriff. They have been going out on all different types of calls, from homelessness to drug addiction to standard mental health crisis calls. And we are actually seeing fewer people being transported for 5150 because we're meeting them before they get into crisis. And it's working. We've got to hire 2 more. 1 will go into the city of Ukiah, and then we're going to have 1 for the north and the coast. And of course, we'll shift those around for where the needs are. They're going to be in a vehicle. They're going to be mobile and responding to these folks before they actually go into crisis. And I think that that's going to pay off in spades. I really do. Anytime that you are, anytime that you're proactive to meeting a problem, you deal with it so much faster than when you're reactive. And you know, proactive is where we have to be right now because we just don't have the resources to be reactive. So does anybody have any questions for me?
I have a sort of a question. 3 or 4 days ago, there was a police van. It wasn't a car, it wasn't a van. It was halfway in between. And there was a couple of gentlemen that got, or a couple of folks in uniform that got out, and their jackets, their vests, they were wearing vests, and the vest said probation.
Uh-huh.
What was that?
Probation officers out doing checks on their probationers.
Oh, okay. I thought as much, but I wanted to double check.
Yeah, and so our probation officers are also proactive. And let's say that we get somebody who is on probation in Sonoma County, but they have family up here in Mendocino County, and they put in a request to move to Mendocino County. Our probation officers will go out and do a home check to make sure that they're actually moving where they say they're going to move, staying with the people they say they're going to be staying with, because they are actually under supervision in the same fashion that, you know, if they were still, probation is an extension of incarceration. Yeah. And so that, you know, they just still have to play by the rules.
Yeah, this is a neighbor that's lived there for a couple of years now. So, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Were you going to tell us any more about what's going on in Gualala, Matt? Or
currently, we've been working very hard to get a location. we know the general location where he is, and we've just been narrowing that down and down and down via use of surveillance and several. I've got to pull forward. Somebody just pulled into the cemetery, and it looks like I'm partially blocking their access. Let me pull over to the right here. Since old Clyde Doggett died, I never see anybody up at the cemetery, but these folks just pulled in. Clyde took care of the cemetery in Boonville for years and years. He passed on last year. What's that?
We're closing the gate.
Oh, you're going to close the gate? Okay, as soon as I get done, I'll pull that.
Thank you.
Shoot, they were going to lock me in the cemetery. Anyway.
Your time has not come yet, Matt.
I hope not. I really hope not. But
No.
what's happening is we had him within about a 2 square mile area, but we've been using a lot of surveillance, electronic surveillance, things like that to get him so we can get it condensed down to where he is. And then when we do, then we will simply catch him and arrest him.
Okay. Anyone else? Tom, Don?
Yeah, I just want to say, Matt, it's good to hear that the mobile aid is working out so well. I think the whole country is confused about this defund the police effort. And what it really is, it's a bad name for a good program. The idea of shifting some of these calls away from our hardworking cops to some social workers is a really good idea and allows you to free up to do things like pursue this guy who's shooting at your deputies.
Well, and
so I know you're in favor of that. I'm in favor of that. And I don't consider it defunding the police.
Well, and there are so many things that get the wrong name, but I can tell you that police chiefs and sheriffs, my entire career said we should do police work. We shouldn't be doing something that we aren't trained to do. And, when I kind of sniggered a little bit when they said, well, defund the police and we'll put the money here. I will give back every penny that I have been given to deal with mental health issues and deal with them poorly. Okay, honestly, because I'm not a therapist. I wasn't built to do that. I'll give back every penny because I haven't received a red cent for it. It's just one of those things that we took on. And the sad part is we're all good people. We want to do the right thing and we want to help. But if we aren't trained to do it, I mean, you're asking deputies to, it'd be like asking me to do an appendectomy. I would not do a good job. I don't know what I'm doing, and Lord knows, I don't care who it is, someone I know or don't know. I want to do everything that I can to save them, but it shouldn't be me doing it because it's not fair to myself or the patient.
So this whole measure back when that was voted on, Measure B, I think it was?
Yes.
It seems like it might be paying dividends then, right?
Yes, and Measure B is actually the group who came up with the funding for us to be able to do this. And then they're actually making some really good progress and headway right now on getting a psychiatric health facility for Mendocino County again. And when I was a young deputy, we did not have people with severe mental illness sitting in county jail.
Right.
Because they were dealt with prior to going out and committing crimes. And, our psychiatric health facility, when it went away, next thing you know, these guys, they're having mental issues. They're degrading on the streets and, just kind of on a downward spiral. And then when they commit a crime, we know where to put them. And it's not fair to them and it's not fair to us. It's not good service. And so when when Sheriff Allman, now Deputy Allman up in Humboldt County, when he began that push, it was because he and I had seen this digress to the point where county jail was becoming a de facto mental health unit. And it's just not fair to the folks who are in crisis, simply because, a lot of these guys, they didn't even realize that they were committing a crime. And, society is often really, truly judged on how we treat our weakest members. And a lot of times it's children, the elderly, people who have disabilities and mental health issues. And I think that we should be doing a lot better than what we have been doing in a modern society. And so, you know, I think that that was a really good thing that Sheriff Allman started on, and we're beginning to see it really take hold in Mendocino County, and we're doing better than what we were. Now, the problem didn't pop up overnight, so it's not going to get fixed overnight, but all we can do is try to take that walk one step at a time to get to where we're going.
Mm-hmm. And these mobile units sound like they're part of that solution too.
Yeah, and you know, it's like anything else. If you notice a little drip in the faucet, if you fix it now, the basement doesn't flood. You know, think about how cheap it is to fix that faucet before the basement floods versus fixing it afterwards.
Right. Wow, Matt, lots of good information there. Any other questions? I know you're maybe needing to get away from that graveyard. I don't know.
I got out of there. I'm pulling over right down by a fruit stand now. I might have an apple before I go home.
Uh-huh. Oh, I know where you're at.
Yeah.
Any other council members have anything? And then before we let Matt go.
I think we're good. Thanks,
Hearing
Matt.
none. Matt, thanks for showing up.
Hey, thank you so
We'll
much.
See you next month.
Take good care, and
Okay.
I hope you guys are enjoying that weather over there. It's hot in Ukiah.
Okay, we will.
Happy 4th, Matt.
Thank you so
Sheriff.
much.
Okay, take care. Thank you. Okay, you guys, that was entertaining. On to where
By
are
the
we
way,
at? Yeah.
By the way, is it legal to Zoom and drive at the same time?
Yeah, well, if you could do it.
I wasn't going to say that.
I know. Yeah, not in front of the sheriff, but.
Right.
Right.
Gosh, I'm just learning how to text and drive.
We have
You
people who
shouldn't
can't
admit to
Zoom at
that.
we have people who can't Zoom at their desk.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
that's me too. Okay. 6G, permit review assignments. Okay, that was on my bad agenda.
No,
Sorry.
that's yeah. It's number 7A is CDP 2021-009. Here, I'll put my agenda on the screen here.
Okay.
You can see here. 7A, CDP 2021-009 PG&E to remove 21 trees and brush at the substation, including 16 trees on neighboring property at 39200 Old Stage Road. I will volunteer for that one. That's my favorite
Wow.
substation.
That is going to be maybe a little bit controversial, that one.
Anybody want to join me?
Who did it last time? There was,
I did it.
I know you did it pretty much yourself, or was Don on that one?
Well, no, actually, I don't think I was assigned to that one last time. I just had a lot of comments on it. But I
You
will
did.
volunteer for this one. But I'd like somebody to join me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll
That's
join you, Tom, if you want.
Okay. Don and Tom on that one.
Don and Tom on 2021-009 PG&E removing trees, Old Stage Road. Okay. What's
Right.
the other one?
The other one is CDP 2021-0020. The name is Bazzano for a single family home with a garage, well, septic, driveway, and removal of one tree at 46611 Iverson. Planner is Mark Kleiser, a new planner on our staff.
Mark Glazer. Well, I guess Melissa and I have to do that one then. Melissa Bazzano,
I wouldn't say that.
what's that?
I'm not going anywhere there are ticks. I've already had one tick. I've already had to go into RCMS and have one tick removed and take my antibiotics.
Okay.
I'm not going through that again.
Well, I don't think you have to go through ticks. Anyway,
You might not have-
they're all over the North Coast. They're where you live, so they're all over.
You might not have to.
I walk on pavement. I do not walk in grass or high weeds or out in the woods.
Let me look into this one, and I'll let you know what's going on. Okay.
All right.
Okay. It might be just dirt. I don't know yet. Okay. But I'll volunteer on that one so far, and hopefully Melissa will join me. Okay, so that was 7A and 7B. We've assigned those. Anything else we need to know on those at the moment?
Nope. You're going to number 8 is Secretary Mobert's report. I think we could pass that item tonight. Number 9 is Vice Chairman Murphy's report. I have nothing to report. That brings us to number 10, Chairman Youngling's report.
I have nothing to report tonight either. So that's a pass so this might be the shortest meeting on record if we're ready for adjournment. Anything else?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Wow. Melissa.
In honor of Melissa's birthday, I will second that motion.
Okay. Don,
Aye.
Melissa.
Aye.
Okay. Tom
Aye?
and myself. Aye. Okay, you guys, we handled everything in an hour, looks like.
Wow, that's a
That was
new
a
record.
nice birthday present.
Maybe we.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome, Melissa.
Okay. Well,
Gee, I won't know what to do the rest of the evening.
I know what to do.
Wait,
you can't go to sleep yet. Melissa, it's still light.
it's
Anyway.
still bedtime.
Enjoy your birthday, what's left of it.
You got 2 hours
Thank
till
you much.
bedtime, Melissa.
No, it's bedtime already.
Well, let's all keep
All
Mary
right.
Mobert in our prayers. She's going through a tough time
Yeah.
right now, and I know she needs some loving care that she's
Yeah.
getting. So let's all think good thoughts about Mary. She'll be with us next month.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be in contact
See
with
you
each
next
other.
month.
You guys have a good
Good
night.
night.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks,
Good night,
thanks,
everybody.
Don.
Night, all.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, Tom.
Bye.
Bye.